What the heck is that? What is going on? Welcome to the Me First podcast and a very happy new year for everybody. And I hope you all had a wonderful holiday. It's 2026, and because of that, we are starting season 2, and this is episode 1. Today's theme: Are you feeling older too soon? Very timely because it's the new year. But before we do any of that, let's say hi. It's been a while. What's going on? How's it going? How have you been?
Hello, Happy New Year, and welcome to the season 2 of our Me First podcast. I am doing
Right.
very good. And yeah, a lot of New Year's
Lots
resolution
of things happen.
in my plans, and I'm going to stick to them. How are you?
I'm doing great. Was Santa good to you? Was Santa good?
Yes, very good. He was very, very good. I can't
That's
complain.
good.
I'm very, very happy.
You know, it's funny. I saw something somewhere and I forgot what it was, and it said something about instead of making New Year's resolutions, make New Year's goals. And I think that's probably something good that we could start looking at.
True,
So not
yeah.
not resolutions, not goals, not resolutions, but goals. Because when you say resolution, it sounds like you're trying to fix something that's broken.
Yeah, that's
So,
very, very
right?
interesting. And it actually makes a lot of
Mind
sense.
shift,
Yes,
mindset
yes.
shift. That's
Yeah.
how I
The
see
right
it.
perspective,
But
it's powerful.
absolutely, absolutely. I think, especially for us in this stage of our lives, perspective definitely has an incredible impact on everything that we do, everything that we say. I truly, truly believe that. But going back to our topic, because it's the new year, it's new for everything, and we're a year older, a year everything. Let's talk about feeling older too soon. Which is funny. I was looking at the topics that I wanted to talk about, and I'm like, I feel this is something that's common that everybody is experiencing. Me personally, I'm gonna say, I've noticed my smile lines, and I felt like they crept up on me.
Oh my
So
gosh.
let's talk. Let's talk. I before I talk about my smile lines that I feel just showed up last week. Let's talk about you. What is your perception on feeling older too soon?
Well, yeah, I definitely see it. I didn't realize that I would see it this early, but it's just because I thought that I was immortal or that I would never age.
Don't we all? Aren't we all?
Right? And then suddenly, oh my gosh, it's happening. It's true. But it gets to me, even though I think my husband would tell me, no, no, it's okay. You're beautiful. It's the same. Because I'm conscious of it, especially me, because my face is very expressive. Like, look at that. I'm very conscious about
Yeah.
that. And I'm even thinking of getting a Botox soon. But that makes me really conscious, but I just can't help it. And then my husband would tell me, "Why would you want to do that? You want to?" At some point, you have to accept your age, and I completely agree, and I want to, but I have to admit, I'm a woman, and sometimes you just want
Absolutely.
to feel young, right? As much as you can. So
Absolutely.
yes, definitely dry skin, and when your skin is dry because you have less estrogen in your body, like your collagen, you don't produce it anymore. Of course, the lines and the wrinkles, they're gonna show up even more, and that's the way it is, and you have to
They're more
support that.
pronounced.
Yes, they are.
Dude, I can't even get to the point in accepting that it's just the way it is. Like I said, I was talking about these two, right? So I think I was looking at a video that I made the other day, and I'm like, what the heck is that? What is going on? And I look at my older videos, and I'm like, these were not here before.
Oh my gosh, I do the same. I was so guilty.
For real, I feel like I just saw it last week, and I kid you not, I freaked out. I'm like, why is my face sagging? And I'm like, do I need to go for Botox? Now, I'm gonna tell you, I have a friend, I think she turned 53, and she went for the CO2 laser. No, I take that back. I think she had her 55th birthday, because she invited me to her birthday, and it was a milestone birthday for her. And I said, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna make it. And I'm like, this is a milestone birthday, isn't it? But obviously, I didn't want to kind of say her age. She's like, this is my day before my CO2 laser party. And I'm like, it's not the thing that like burns all of your face off. And she's like, yeah, it takes about a 3 week recovery period. And I'm like, that sounds violent. And once again, it's going back to like, oh my God, I think for her, I think she's 55, but I'm not sure. She was like freaking out. And so she went, and I know that's expensive. Have you heard of it? The CO2
No.
laser?
How much
Girl,
does it
you
cost?
have to go. I want to say between $3,000 to $5,000 US.
Ooh, really?
Possibly. Well, it doesn't matter whether you have the money or not. You gotta
Yeah.
go on YouTube and research
Yeah.
the videos on it. It's CO2 laser. What it does is they strike a laser against your face, and the moment
Okay.
it hits it, you see the loose skin just shrink
Oh
together.
my gosh. It sounds morbid.
Oh gosh,
But
the recovery is crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, it's good homework, something to look into. It's pretty
yes.
crazy. Yeah. So, anyways, that's my little experience. Not to mention, you probably saw in one of our videos recently. I don't know why I gained 10 pounds recently. I don't know why. I have no excuses. I have no reasons. I didn't change anything. Okay, maybe I'm exercising less, but I didn't change my diet. But I gained 10 pounds. I don't know where.
Yeah. Could be water too, because our body holds on to water. But when
Possibly.
water retention and of course estrogen, it's fluctuating.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, you know what? Transitioning. This is a good part to kind of move into the heart of it. What is causing all of this? You know, I'm going through the menopause coach certification. I am going to
Yes.
admit that I did not realize that the significant drop in estrogen that our body goes through affects a ton of things. And when I say a ton of things, your bone especially. That was probably one of the biggest awakening moments for me. But your bone density gets impacted, your stress goes up, and when your cortisol kind of spikes, it affects everything else in your body. And when you have a spike in cortisol, which is kind of, how do I say this? It's kind of like a scientific thing. When your estrogen and your progesterone drops, both of them are helping kind of regulate your cortisol. So because they're both dropped, they're not able to kind of do their job in regulating your cortisol. So your body kind of starts treating stress like everything is an emergency. So you have a spike in cortisol. And when you have a spike in cortisol, it affects everything
Absolutely.
else. And so, you start feeling tired, you're like, oh, everything hurts. Your mood is just impacted. And so I think all of that kind of compounded makes you old. Like, oh, I'm just old and tired. And I think that's where it's all kind of coming from. So it's so very easy to just say, you know what, if you can control your cortisol, you're fine. But all of us know that's not necessarily true.
It's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I agree with you. And also your inflammation, it gets higher, and that's why some women they have high bad cholesterol or triglycerides, even if they didn't change their diet or something. It's because they have a lot of inflammation because estrogen helps with regulating that, putting it at bay. So
Yep.
yeah, I completely agree with you.
There is a direct impact in your estrogen going down and your LDL going up. And LDL is your bad cholesterol, right? And
Yeah.
so your inflammation, your internal inflammation all starts happening. It's wild, wild, the science behind your hormones kind of dropping and how it affects almost every single organ in your body. Two major things. You get older, you're like, oh, when we were younger, we relate high blood pressure to old people.
Yes.
Oh, you have high blood pressure, you're older. What
Yeah.
what we are not kind of realizing is that we do feel older because we have high blood pressure, but that's because our hormones kind of shifted and it impacted our cardiovascular health.
Yes.
It's pretty crazy.
It
It's
is
pretty
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And then
And a lot of
obviously
women
your
should know.
course, they don't.
Yeah.
They don't. They don't. People don't go out of their way to try and I mean, I don't mean to sound it like we're faulting people, but I think we need to owe it upon ourselves to kind of go out there and learn. Do you agree?
Absolutely, because this is your body. If you want to live long, and if you want to enjoy your old days, not being too fragile, being able to do the things that you want without relying on other people to carry your baggage or your groceries or watch you all the time. You want to be living. If you're 80, if you live up to 80, 90, you still want to be vibrant with living
Mobile.
with vitality, and yeah, and carrying your grandkids or whatever, right? That's what I want. So even if people are saying, oh, it's okay, it's part of aging, we have to accept that, no, you can do something about it. It's not something that we just have to accept and we can control, because definitely there are a lot of things that we can do, and that's what we should just spread the word about too, so that we can help other women to, we're not helpless. We have a choice.
Yeah. Well, I was reading something the other day and it said growing old is inevitable, but being frail at the end of it is not.
Yes,
Basically, you don't have to be all, you know, kind of like what we know our elders to be. They're all crooked
100%.
and they're shrunk and they're brittle and they're fragile. I don't want to be an old fragile woman.
Yeah, me too. Definitely, because yeah, it's not
Yeah.
it's not the quality of life.
I think one other thing too that we got to pay attention to is sleep. And I do realize a lot of people say there are actually studies out there that say sleeping has like lack of sleep impacts a lot of the things like in your body physically. So, and as you age, you sleep less. But I think we all need to like put in the effort to sleep better and advocate for that and protect that. I think that's one of the things
Yes.
that we probably need to like work on and do as well. But no, now that we're going into that, let's talk about solutions here. We talked about sleep. Let's talk about, so real quickly, I took my mom to her medical exams and she's had quite a few. And one of the things that we talked about was lack of sleep. And one of the tips that the doctor gave was better and more consistent sleep hygiene. I've never even thought about that term, but in a way, I think it makes sense. Like stop
Yes.
scrolling after a certain time, no more tech, and reduce what you like consume right around bedtime. And I think that's amazing. What about you? Do you have any other solutions out there? Anything
Well,
else you could think of?
definitely sleep hygiene. One of the very, very important things, because sleep is when you repair, right? It's how you recover. So that's definitely important. And then we have to, I think that women, no matter how you think you eat enough, or if you think you're doing their best, like me, I think I'm doing my best in terms of nutrients with the food that I eat. I still know that there are a lot of nutritional gaps, and those things are very important, like omega-3, magnesium. It's going to help you make you feel better, collagen too. And actually, I have a very good tip, because I just learned this recently, because I am like creatine is my favorite supplement, and it's made a lot of it changed my life. I could say that. When in terms of perimenopause, it helped with my anxiety, my mood swings, my constant fatigue. I couldn't handle that before. My mood, I'm just emotional. And then I just realized that creatine is also good for your skin, and that's good for our topic during this podcast, because I didn't know that, but it actually makes sense, because creatine, it fuels ATP, the currency of energy in our body. And so it also fuels the system that produces collagen. So now it actually makes
Very
sense,
interesting.
right? And creatine also pulls water in your muscles. So it also hydrates and plumps your skin. It doesn't work fast like you know, Botox or whatever. But in the long term, it's going to benefit women over 35 or over 30, everyone basically in the long term.
That's awesome. You know, it's really funny because I'm recently just learning the benefits of creatine. I'm gonna admit, maybe before a couple of years ago, I was I was like I had an aversion to creatine because I've seen people
Yeah.
have really bad experiences with it. But reading more about creatine, I'm kind of learning the benefits. It's funny, like you're saying right now, that creatine benefits your skin. What I learned is that creatine also impacts your focus.
Yes.
And I thought, I'm like, hey, I gotta read more about this because I kind of, in my mind, I could not find the relation between, like creatine. I've always thought creatine will help your muscle, like it's like muscle mass and all that stuff. And so I didn't kind of understand the correlation between creatine and how it helps you focus. But now that you're talking about how creatine kind of impacts your mood and all that stuff, I'm like, well, that's kind of mental. So to me, that
Yeah.
makes sense. But going back to what you talked about in terms of the gaps in your diet, one of the things that I think is probably going to stay a problem for me that I really need to actively work on is protein.
Me
I
too.
have trouble kind of meeting I have trouble meeting my protein requirements. And it's hard, even with a protein shake and
It's very hard.
everything else. And yes, I mean, I can't eat steak all day. I'm granted I have a really good variety in my diet, but still, it's a challenge to kind of meet your requirement every day. So,
Oh, it is every day.
absolutely agree with that. And I also personally, you talk about inflammation. We need to do a little bit more research on different kinds of foods that actually prevent inflammation,
Yeah.
because I think a lot of people have a completely different concept of inflammation, and they don't understand that the drop in the hormones in your body as you go through this kind of stage in your life, increases your risk for inflammation and it impacts everything else. Yep, absolutely, a really good convo. I love it.
It is. I know. Yeah.
So we were talking about the things that we were gonna do better. What is your me first promise this week?
My
I've been thinking
promise
about this.
is I
What
would
is yours?
be more, I would like to be more consistent. Well, like, not really consistent, but I would like to trust myself more, develop my trust in myself that if I say to myself, okay, I'm going to do this, I, you know, I'm going to rest assured that I am going to do whatever I say. That's what I want to develop this year. That's what I want to do because I know that it also going to help with my self-confidence. I trust myself. If I say this, I'm going to do it, Like, for example, if I tell myself I'm going to cut on sugar, I love sugar, I love sweets. So I'm going to cut back on that. And then I'm going to trust myself. I trust myself. So I am going to do it, self-trust for self-confidence.
Holding yourself accountable. Is that what you're trying to do?
Yes, yes, exactly. Thank you.
No, I mean, trusting yourself. There's two things, right? One of the things that I could probably suggest, unsolicited big sister friend advice.
Yes, please.
Now that you're having a conversation with yourself and saying, I need to be able to trust myself that I'm going to do this for myself and I'm going to hold myself accountable. The last part of that is you also need to allow yourself to make mistakes. Do you ever think
True.
about that?
Yeah,
You
it's
cannot be
true.
super harsh on yourself.
I know.
So
I'm so guilty of that. I am so guilty of that. Like I beat myself up for tiny mistakes
that's
or
the problem. So that's the problem, which is why you give yourself a hard time. You need to give
yeah.
yourself permission. You have to remember to give
True.
yourself permission.
It's in the balance, right? Like
But
the in between.
yes, find it. Yes. So you have to
Yeah.
have a really good combination of everything.
It's true. It's true. Thank you.
Yes.
Absolutely.
For me, so I was thinking about what my me first promise is going to be. And once again, we're talking about New Year's resolutions, we're talking about goals. I'm really going to look into what I can do so that I can be better in getting better at like nutrients that I put in my body.
Nice.
Like like you said, you love sweets. You're gonna tell yourself, I'm not gonna not gonna do too much sugar.
Yeah.
Like I already know me and myself. We already know that that's one of our biggest enemy. Like yesterday, I was telling Matt. I was telling Matt. I look at Matt and I'm like, I have a sugar craving. This is like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I said I have a sugar craving, and he goes, my enabler goes, "What do you want?" Now we're in Las Vegas. We have really fancy donuts. We have like, and then nearby there's this place called Blooming Buns that makes these cookie buns. Like we're gonna go to Blooming Buns, so we drove out to
Wow.
Blooming Buns, went and got ourselves cookies. We get over there, and the lady was like, "Do you want to do the buy five get one free?" The
Ooh.
difference in, dude, very dangerous. The
It is.
difference between the buy five get one free and the three that we got was like $10. So in your head, it's like it makes more sense for me to just buy two more so that I can get three.
Of
But I
course.
was like, we're not gonna do that right now.
That is dangerous.
So I stopped.
If you leave that in the fridge.
So these, I need to be better with my conversations with myself in terms of that. So I think my me first promise would probably be to be more intentional about what I put in my
True.
body, especially gaining this much weight.
But you know what, Ate Marge? They said that when we have this sugar craving, especially if it's in the afternoon, it's actually
Our body's
instead
needing
of
something.
yes, like it means that your energy is low, so you have a nutritional deficiency or something, and that's what. So instead of telling
Yeah,
your body,
I've
"Oh,
read that.
I'm being I'm giving into
You're
my
being bad.
cravings again." Yeah, you're being bad. You just think of it like your body is actually sending you a signal on how to support it better.
Good concept.
Perspective.
I'm gonna support it with $7 donuts.
That sounds so easy and so good, right?
Girl, you
$7
know,
donuts.
whenever you come to Vegas, I will take you to these because you are a pastry gal. I'm gonna take you to all these
Yes. Oh,
places, and now you're
please.
gonna know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But anyways, we
I'm
have
game.
gotten to the end of our podcast again. We want to remind everybody that feeling older too soon does not mean you are. It just means your body is signaling you for support, and so you need to you deserve to respond with care and not judgment. We were just talking about this.
Yeah. Note to self.
Yes, yes, yes. Be part of the Me First movement. Like and follow us. Share this video. Subscribe to the Me First podcast on YouTube. Follow us across all of the socials. And stay tuned next week for our season 2, episode 2. And once again, subscribe to the Me First podcast where we put ourselves first, because if we don't, who will? Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week, everybody. We'll see you next time.